Hello, dear students. Welcome to today's lesson. This lesson looks into the circulatory system. Now, we note about the human body systems. The human body is made up of various systems that work together to keep us alive. And that is the same case for any other living organisms. It has the various body systems that work together to keep these organisms alive. Now, dwelling into the circulatory system comes from the word circulate, move around, move some materials around. Therefore, the circulatory system moves substances around the body. And when we talk about substances, we mean the food, that's the nutrients. They have to be moved around the body so that each cell gets the nutrients. We also have the gases, that is the oxygen that is needed by all the respiring cells. Therefore, the circulatory system carries this oxygen to the cells. Then we have the waste materials that these cells make, which has to be transported from those cells to the excretory organs or to organs that remove these substances out of the body. And we also have the carbon dioxide gas that is produced by the cells that are respiring. Therefore, this carbon dioxide has to be transported from the cells to the lungs so that we breathe it out. And all this transportation is done by the circulatory system. So I believe at this moment, we need to understand that the circulatory system carries materials around the body or carries substances around the body. Now, what are the major components of the circulatory system? When we talk about the circulatory system, what should come to our mind is the main organ, which is the heart. We have the blood vessels and the blood. When you look at my diagram here, of course, it has the heart as the main organ of the circulatory system. And I have to put a disclaimer at this point here that the lungs is not part of the circulatory system, although it is indicated here because the lungs is the one that gets the oxygen into our body and passes out the carbon dioxide. And we are going to discuss the lungs in detail in another body system. We call it the respiratory system. But for the circulatory system, our focus will be on the heart and then the blood vessels running around the body and the blood that is carried by these blood vessels. So let's discuss the main organ of the circulatory system, which is the heart. When you look at this diagram here, you note there are two major sections. The right side of the heart, we have the right side, and we have the left side. So as you can see, the right side of the heart is coded with the color blue, meaning the right side of the heart is pumping blood that is deoxygenated, blood that does not have oxygen. And then the left side of the heart is color-coded red, meaning it is pumping blood that contains oxygen. We call it oxygenated blood. So as you can see here, we have the various tubes that are getting in and out of the heart. So basically, blood from the body that is carried by the veins, it goes into the right side of the heart. We have the upper chamber. Once the upper chamber is full with the deoxygenated blood, there's increased pressure and that forces this valve to open and blood flows to the right lower chamber. When the right lower chamber is full of blood, there's increased pressure. And of course, the muscles of the heart also contract to push out the blood. And this blood moves out, going to the lungs. And once the blood is in the lungs, of course, there is gases exchange and it gains more of the oxygen. And now we call that the oxygenated blood, which gets in through this vein. So we have the vein from the lungs, brings in the oxygenated blood, which flows into the upper left chamber. Once the upper left chamber is full of blood, of course, there's increased pressure and the blood flows to the lower left chamber. Once it is full of the blood, there's increased pressure. The muscles of the left side of the heart contract, and that pushes blood out of the heart to the body. So the main function of the heart, of course, is to pump blood around the body. Let's look at the next component of the human circulatory system. We talk about the blood vessels. And we have three types of blood vessels: the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. The arteries are the largest of these three blood vessels, and the arteries carry blood containing food and oxygen away from the heart to the body. So once the blood is oxygenated and has the nutrients and has been pumped from the blood, it goes through the arteries as it goes to various parts of the body. We have, of course, the veins. The veins carries blood from the body back to the heart. So the veins are carrying blood towards the heart, while the arteries are carrying blood away from the heart. So these veins carry blood containing the waste substances from the cells, such as the carbon dioxide, and it is transported from the body towards the heart. And we have the smallest of the blood vessels. We call them the capillaries. The capillaries join the arteries and the veins. And these capillaries are very tiny so that they reach individual cells and tissues in our body. One major feature of these capillaries is that they have very thin walls that will allow the exchange of substances between the blood and the cells. Which substances? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, other wastes, and the food are being exchanged from the blood into the cell and from the cells to the blood. And of course, the blood is the transport fluid that will carry these substances where they are supposed to be. I want to talk about the various circulatory systems. And the diagram here shows the circulatory system of the fish, the circulatory system of the frog, and that of the bird. And as you can see, they are similar in the sense that these three circulatory systems have the artery, the heart, the vein, and the capillaries. So they have the same components. When you talk about the circulatory system of the fish, the frog, the bird, and of course that of the human, they are similar in the sense that they are made up of the same components: the arteries, the heart, the vein, capillaries, and of course the blood as a transport fluid. However, there's some slight differences we can note here, that in the circulatory system of the fish, you can note that the blood flows through the heart once for every one complete circulation. So you find we have one complete circulation and blood is going through the heart once. But when you look at that of the frog, the bird, and which is also the case for humans, you find that the blood flows through the heart twice for every one complete circulation. You note that the blood comes from the body to the heart, from the heart, because it goes to the lungs, and then back to the heart, then from the heart to the body. So you find for one complete circulation, the blood is flowing through the heart twice. And that is the case for humans. That is the case for the frog. And it's the same situation also for the birds. That is it for today. I want us to look at the summary of the main ideas we have learned in this lesson. So the first point to note here is that the circulatory system, its main role is to transport substances around the body. And then which are the three major components of the circulatory system? We talk about the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood. And what is the role of the heart? The heart pumps blood around the body. And we note that for the humans, the heart has 4 chambers, 2 chambers on the right and 2 chambers on the left. And we noted that the right side of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood, and the left side of the heart pumps oxygenated blood. A key point to note here, of course. Then we have 3 types of blood vessels. We note of the arteries, capillaries, and the veins. The arteries are the largest blood vessels. They are larger than the veins and capillaries, and they do transport blood containing food and oxygen from the heart to the body. So we note that these arteries carry blood away from the heart. They carry blood away from the heart. Another summary point we note here is that the veins are larger than capillaries, and they do transport blood containing waste substances. One of the waste substances, of course, is carbon dioxide, that is from the body back to the heart. So we know that the veins are carrying materials towards the heart. Then we have the capillaries. These are the tiny blood vessels. They join the arteries to the veins. And one special feature that we noted here is that they are very thin to allow exchange of substances between the cells and the blood. This is a key feature that we note here. And we have noted also that the circulatory system of other animals is similar to that of humans because it contains the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. And we noted here it is similar for the fish, the frog, the humans, the birds. That is a similarity that all those circulatory systems have the heart, blood, and blood vessels. However, we saw a difference between the circulatory system of the fish and that of the birds and humans or the other mammals. We noted that for the fish, the blood flows through the heart once for one complete circulation, while for humans and birds and other mammals, blood flows through the heart twice for one complete circulation. Bye, guys. Have a nice time. I wish you all the best in your studies. Thank you.